Imagine waking tomorrow morning with a profound knowing that unlimited wealth already belongs to you. Not as a distant hope, but as your present reality. Picture yourself moving through your day with the calm confidence of someone for whom financial abundance is natural, effortless, already accomplished. Feel the weightlessness in your chest, the relaxed shoulders, the gentle smile that comes with absolute financial security. This feeling, this state of being, is the doorway to your wealthy life. Everything begins in imagination. There is no wealth, no abundance, no prosperity that did not first exist as a seed planted in the fertile soil of mind. The mansion on the hill, the investment portfolio, the freedom to travel at will, each began as an invisible thought before materializing in the visible world. You are not a victim of economic circumstances, but the creator of your financial reality. The outer world of form is nothing more than the faithful servant of your inner world of thought. What you hold in consciousness with unwavering conviction must, by spiritual law, externalize itself in your experience. This is not wishful thinking. This is the fundamental nature of creation. The universe knows no difference between what you vividly imagine and what you physically experience. Both register with equal power in your subconscious mind, and it is your subconscious that shapes the events and circumstances of your life. The great secret is this: to attract riches, you must first assume the feeling of already being rich. Money is not attracted to need or desperation. Money is attracted to money. Wealth flows toward the consciousness of wealth. When you stand in a state of lack, peering out at abundance, you remain separated from it. But when you assume the feeling of abundance, when you inhabit that state completely, you become a natural channel for its expression. Most people spend their lives waiting for evidence before they believe, looking for the money before they feel wealthy. They have it precisely backward. The feeling must precede the fact. The inner conviction must come before the outer manifestation. This is the divine pattern of creation. First the invisible, then the visible. First the assumption, then the experience. Your imagination is not a fantasy factory producing idle dreams. Your imagination is God in action. It is the creative power of the universe expressing itself through you. When you imagine a scene implying the fulfillment of your desire, and when you inhabit that scene with feeling, you are engaging in the highest form of prayer. You are declaring, "Let this be done unto me," and the universe must respond accordingly. The wealthy are not wealthy because of fortunate circumstances. They are wealthy because of a wealthy consciousness. The poor are not poor because of unfortunate circumstances. They are poor because of a consciousness of lack. Change the consciousness, and you change the world. This is the immutable law. What would it feel like to have financial freedom? What conversations would you have? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind if money were no longer a concern? Dive into these feelings now. Make them real in your imagination. For when the feeling becomes real to you, the outer circumstances must reshape themselves to match this inner conviction. The world you see is a reflection of who you believe yourself to be. If you believe yourself to be limited, struggling, always one step behind, the world will faithfully mirror these beliefs. But imagine yourself as already accomplished, already abundant, already free, and watch as life begins to reflect this new assumption. Your outer world cannot help but rearrange itself to match your innermost belief. You need not concern yourself with the how. The how is not your responsibility. Your task is simply to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The bridges to your desire will form themselves. The pathways will appear. Let the infinite intelligence of the universe handle the details. Your role is to remain faithful to the end, to maintain the consciousness of already having what you desire. To the human mind, this may seem backward. We've been conditioned to believe that we must first see, then believe. But the spiritual law operates in reverse. You must first believe, then you will see. Faith is not blind hope in an unseen future. Faith is present confidence in an unseen reality that already exists. Tonight, as you drift to sleep, imagine scenes that imply your financial wishes fulfilled. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the security that comes with abundance. Let these feelings saturate your being, for the feeling is the secret. The feeling of wealth is the magnet that draws wealth to you. The feeling of abundance is the very substance of abundance made visible. Remember, what exists in imagination exists in reality, though not yet seen by physical eyes. Hold fast to this truth. Live from your desired end. Speak, think, and act as the wealthy person you already are in consciousness, and watch as the universe conspires to make visible what you have claimed in the invisible. When you truly understand the power of imagination, you realize that the world is not happening to you, it is responding to you. Every circumstance in your financial life, every dollar in your bank account, every opportunity that comes your way, all are the effects of causes set in motion by your consciousness. This revelation transforms how you approach the creation of wealth. You must eliminate the gap between desiring wealth and experiencing wealth. This gap exists only in time, not in consciousness. In consciousness, you can be wealthy now, regardless of your bank balance. When you collapse this gap through the proper use of imagination, you set in motion forces that must bring your outer world into alignment with your inner conviction. The moment you shift from wanting money to knowing it is yours, everything changes. Wanting keeps wealth at a distance. It affirms absence rather than presence. But knowing, deeply feeling that wealth is already yours, creates a consciousness that attracts corresponding experiences. The universe does not respond to your words or even your actions, but to the feeling state from which those words and actions spring. When you imagine from a state of lack, expecting, hoping, or striving for riches, you remain in lack. Not hoping, not waiting, not striving. It is being. Being wealthy in consciousness now is the secret to becoming wealthy in expression tomorrow. The world will whisper that you must work harder, struggle more, or wait longer for financial abundance. But you must remember that outer conditions are only shadows of inner beliefs. They have no power to create. They only reflect what already exists within. Here are the practical steps to manifest wealth through Neville's technique. First, clarify exactly what wealth means to you, not vague notions, but specific experiences. What would financial freedom allow you to do? How would it change your daily life? Be precise, for vague desires produce vague results. Create a scene in your mind that implies your wish is already fulfilled. Perhaps checking your bank account and seeing the desired sum, receiving congratulations from a friend, or making a significant purchase with ease. Make this scene as vivid and detailed as possible. Second, enter a state of relaxation. Your subconscious is most receptive when your conscious mind is quiet. Just before sleep is ideal, but any time you can achieve a calm, receptive state will work. In this relaxed state, step mentally into your imagined scene. Don't watch it from a distance. Be in it. See through your own eyes. Feel with your own heart. Touch the objects in your scene. Hear the sounds. Engage all your senses. Third, infuse your scene with feeling. Feeling is the secret. It's not enough to visualize wealth. You must feel wealthy. Feel the relief, the security, the freedom, the excitement that comes with your wish fulfilled. The subconscious responds not to the images themselves, but to the emotions they evoke. Let these emotions saturate your entire being. Fourth, repeat this imaginal act until it feels natural. What seems impossible at first will become familiar with repetition. When your imagined state feels more real and more natural than your current financial situation, you have successfully impressed your subconscious mind. This new self-concept will then externalize itself in your experience. Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality. It is maintaining your conviction in the face of contrary evidence. When obstacles appear, when doubt creeps in, when the outer world seems unchanged, remember, the seed has been planted. The harvest does not appear the moment the seed is sown. There is an interval between the inner cause and the outer effect. During this interval, remain faithful to your new self-concept. Many abandon their imaginal acts too soon. They plant the seed of wealth consciousness, but then dig it up repeatedly to see if it's growing. Give your new assumption time to bear fruit. Water it daily with continued feelings of wealth already possessed. Protect it from the weeds of doubt and fear. In due season, it will produce after its kind. You may be tempted to ask, when will my wealth appear? But this question reveals doubt. It suggests that wealth is not yet yours. Instead, ask, how would I feel now if I were already wealthy? Then dwell in that feeling. The feeling is the bridge between desire and fulfillment. The transformation begins, the moment you assume a new state of consciousness. It may not be immediately apparent to your senses, but changes are occurring on levels beyond physical perception. Opportunities will appear, ideas will come, resources will emerge, people will be drawn into your life. What seemed impossible becomes probable, then inevitable. Remember this: your imagination creates reality. Your persistent assumption determines your financial destiny. The state of consciousness from which you operate is the cause. Your financial circumstances are merely the effect. Change the cause, and you must change the effect. This is the law of your being. You are not a helpless observer in the theater of life. You are the author of your financial story. You are not bound by past failures or limited by present circumstances. You are a creative force expressing infinite potential. You are not subject to economic forces beyond your control. You are the power that shapes those forces through your consciousness. Step fully into this truth. The outer world of form has no choice but to mirror your inner world of belief. It must. This is not positive thinking, it is spiritual law. What you accept as true in the depths of your being becomes true in your experience. The riches you desire are not waiting for you in some distant future. They exist now in the realm of imagination, waiting only for you to claim them through the feeling of possession. Persist in your vision. Persist not with strain or effort, but with the calm knowing that what is true in consciousness must become true in experience. Persist through doubts and setbacks. Persist when nothing seems to change. Persist when friends question your approach, for persistence in the assumption of wealth is the hidden power that transforms invisible thoughts into visible conditions. Imagine with such intensity that you temporarily forget the present moment. Immerse yourself so completely in the feeling of wealth already yours that the current state of your bank account becomes the dream, and your imagined state becomes the reality. This depth of imagination creates an imprint on the subconscious mind that cannot be denied expression in the outer world. Do not look outward for proof. Look inward for truth. The outward signs will come in their own time, but they begin with your inward conviction. The physical manifestation of wealth is the last step in the process, not the first. First comes the thought, then the feeling of the thought realized, then the outer expression. This is the sequence of creation, and it never varies. You may ask, but what about action? Must I not do something to create wealth? Of course you must act, but from a new state of being. Act not to become wealthy, but because you are already wealthy in consciousness. Your actions will then have a different quality. They will not be driven by need or fear, but inspired by the calm confidence of one who knows their good is already secured. Imagine now. Imagine deliberately. Imagine with feeling. It is already done in the realm of consciousness. Your physical world is simply catching up to what you have already accepted as true. The gap between acceptance and manifestation is only a matter of time. But in the spiritual dimension, where all creation begins, it is finished, complete, done. The feeling is everything. The feeling of wealth creates the experience of wealth. The feeling of abundance attracts abundance. The feeling of prosperity becomes prosperity manifested. Keep your mental conversation aligned with this truth. Speak inwardly as one who is already financially free. Let your inner dialogue reflect your chosen state, not your current circumstances. As you master this practice, you'll find that manifestation accelerates. What once took years may take months, then weeks, then days. Your consciousness becomes increasingly receptive to your imaginal acts. Your subconscious mind responds more readily to your direction. The bridge between the invisible and the visible shortens until they seem to occur almost simultaneously. Remember this above all: you are not performing a technique to get something you lack. You are awakening to the truth that everything you desire already exists within you as potential, waiting to be brought forth through the power of consciousness. You are not creating wealth, you are allowing the wealth that is already yours to express itself in your experience. Persist in this knowing. It is already done. Your financial freedom is already accomplished. Your abundance is already secured. Your prosperity is already established. These are not future events, but present realities in consciousness that must, by spiritual law, project themselves into visible experience. The world is yourself, pushed out. What you see when you look at your financial life is your past assumptions made visible. Change your assumptions now, and you change your future now. This is the great revelation. Your tomorrow is determined by your consciousness today. Imagine the wealth you desire is already yours. Feel the reality of it with every fiber of your being, and watch as the unseen becomes seen, the spiritual becomes material, the imagined becomes experienced. Begin tonight. As you lay your head upon your pillow, feel the naturalness of wealth. Let it be the last thought in your consciousness as you drift to sleep. For in sleep, the conscious censor is removed, and your subconscious mind absorbs your assumptions without resistance. What you plant in consciousness during these drowsy moments blossoms with particular power in your waking experience. It is already done. The riches you seek are seeking you. The wealth you desire is your birthright. The abundance you imagine is your true nature. Step into this knowing, live from this truth, and watch as your outer world transforms to reflect the magnificent reality you have claimed within.